Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Dr. Crypto here. In this video, I want to talk about the price of CRO and also talk about crypto.com because they're starting to ramp up their business in North America. I'm going to get into that in just a little while. But also, I want to cover the stock markets as well because obviously we've got some very big economic data coming specifically towards the end of the week, which obviously is going to be a market mover for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin's going to move, be it up or down, it's going to bring the altcoins with it. So we need to get into that because that's very important. But also I'm going to cover Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance as well. Again, that is really, really important. So before I start, smash that like button and give subscribe, because at the end of the day, your support is always much appreciated. It costs you absolutely nothing to hit that like button or that subscribe. It helps support the channel. It helps me keep on going and doing these videos. So yeah, all in all, it's all looking pretty good. Bit of a mixed bag at the moment on the hourly. Looking a bit of green, a bit of red. But we can have a look on the daily as well. Daily, again, just a bit of a mixed bag, really. So I think a lot of just sideways action with the alts at the moment. I think they're just waiting to see what happens, which direction Bitcoin wants to go to. Because we know Bitcoin at the moment is sitting around that $101,000 mark. So obviously the alts are all geared up, ready to make a move. And hopefully it's going to be to the upside. But let's have a quick look at CRO because CRO is one of my biggest bags. And no doubt you're here in the video to see more about CRO, really. So we know CRO has had that falling wedge. We've had falling volume because we know liquidity in the crypto market at the moment is pretty thin. It's still pretty thin at the moment. So obviously we're hoping at some point this is going to pick up. And I think towards Donald Trump's inauguration, I think that's when we're going to start to see a lot of the volume start to pick up because I think a lot of participants not just in the crypto market but in the stock markets are still coming back from their vacations, or Christmas vacation. So I'm expecting at some point next week we might start to see some real volume start picking up again. But at the moment we can see here on CRO the volume has just been dropping off, and that's not just CRO, it's a lot of the altcoins as well. So but we've seen a bit of liquidity coming out as well. But you've got to bear in mind, when it comes to low liquidity, it's easily manipulated. So you just got to bear that one in mind. But at the moment, we've been in that falling wedge, and I've gone over this in the videos, but we're in that falling wedge. We're hitting the area of the resist line there, but we've been dropping down. But now we've come to an area which I think is very critical area of support, which is around about that 13 kind of pence mark. We have got a lot of support back down here around about that 12 pence mark, and then obviously back down around about that 10 pence mark as well. So we've got a lot of support around those areas. But at the moment, it looks like CRO's found the bottom around that 13 pence mark. We've broken out of that falling wedge, which is always bullish. Falling wedges are always bullish. And what's happened is now we're just basically, we've come out of that, we're chopping sideways. And like I said before in our videos, it's not going to take much for CRO to make a big move to the upside. We get some more news abroad in North America, or, we're getting more news about burns or new licenses coming in. So we just got to be prepared for that. But falling wedge, falling volume, at some point, this falling volume is going to break out to the upside. So I'm expecting that to happen. We just got to be prepared because obviously, like I said, towards the end of the week, we're going to get probably some volatility come in. So we just got to bear that one in mind. But overall, CRO coin is doing quite fine, in my opinion. What I do want it to see is, I think, when we get that volume, if we get a break to the upside off Bitcoin, I think we're heading all the way back up to that 20 pence kind of mark again. And I really, like I said in yesterday's video, I really want that volume to come in. I want that falling volume to start absolutely breaking out to the upside and smash that 20 pence kind of mark. Because if we can smash that area of resistance, I can't see why we can't get up to that 30 pence, 40 pence, and 50 pence, to be honest with you. I really don't. Because that's where we should be at the moment, in my opinion, because of all what's going on with crypto.com and what's going on in North America, and also, what's happening in the roadmaps. I think we should be at that 50 pence personally. I don't think we should be here. We've seen a lot of the other exchange tokens with going into all-time highs or at all-time highs now, and CRO's just been lagging behind. And they're the ones, actually, crypto.com and the Cronos are the ones that got really, really strong fundamentals and got a big community behind it. I don't see why CRO should be where it is right now. So I'm expecting, a big move to happen at some point. Now, obviously, there is a risk that we could come back down. We get some news earlier this week, and it could push the market right down into support again. So we just got to bear that one in mind. But look what Chris has also come out and said, which I'm on about North America, and they're really gearing up on this, is look at this. Following the exciting milestone of our current announcement in US trust company, will be transferring all US and Canadian US funds to our trust company for custody. This all with the Crypto.com family of companies, and all impacted users will continue to have full access to their accounts and funds leading up to this. During the following of the transition, you'll see the transfer of funds on chain. So you can go on chain and you can also monitor it as well. This is what I mean. They're ramping up the North America, which is going to bring in a lot of new users into the Crypto.com and the Cronos ecosystem as well, which is, again, is bullish for the CRO. And we know here, going back up to here, and you know Chris has met up with Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America. Don't know what was discussed, but lots of things are going on, no doubt, behind the scenes. So I think really bullish things are coming for Crypto.com, though we got that roadmap and the Cronos roadmap as well. So really big things happening there. Well, but if you want to go and spend some money, some CR, some of your gains on crypto, you know, it's worth just checking out some of their cards, the debit cards. I have an Icy White holder. You know what they've got here? They've got the Ruby Steel, Jade Green, Rose Gold, Obsidian, and the Prime. Obsidian and Prime, obviously, if you're actually got bags of money, you're millionaires, these are the ones to go for. Prime gives you absolutely crazy perks as well. But I've got the Icy White card, so it's worth just checking them out as well, because it's like I said, it's worth it. I find it worth it. I bought it. I started off in the MCO days, and then Ruby Steel, Jade Green, and then I went up to the Icy White card in the previous bull market. So, you know, I built myself up in terms of the debit card. So obviously the Icy White, it's done me treats. You know, I get like the Prime, I get Netflix, I get Amazon, Spotify, I get them free as well. I get also that 5%, and also I get some of the extra perks in there as well. So it's worth just checking it out. When you go shopping, spend, and you earn CRO as well. So it makes sense. So I'm always DCAing into CRO. So yeah, just bear that one in mind. But what I'm also watching is right now going on to the stock markets, it's in fear. Right now, the crypto market is in greed, but we in the stock markets is in fear. And obviously, they're watching out for the data that's coming out this week. So what we've got to bear in mind is the volume is still low in the markets, which can be a bit concerning, but we'll give it a week to return. So hopefully in the next week or so, people will be coming back from vacations and the volume will be coming back in. So on Friday, which I am watching, is the US unemployment data, which certainly would determine some of Bitcoin's next move. So if the data comes out below 4.2%, the Bitcoin is likely to move up to around about 120K. That's what I'm expecting to happen. So you just got to bear that one in mind. In the unemployment rate, it's going to be market movers. So like I said, if it comes in at 4.2 to 4.3, then I think the range bound is between 85 to 110K. It's most likely, I think, maybe Bitcoin dominance drops during these chops and allow altcoins to move. If above 4.3, then I'm expecting a deep correction. And this is where I say, if you're a CR holder or altcoins, you've just got to bear that one in mind. The slow recovery, which means to push everything out further, could give a higher chances that the cycle does in low time frame. You have a fair value gap basically on the 4-hour chart, which may get triggered around that 100K mark. So before continuing higher, so like I said, you've just got to bear in mind. We've just got to bear in mind, because just watch out for this unemployment rate towards the end of the week, which is on a Friday. So I think that's going to be about 1:30 p.m. time. I think UK. I think it's UK time. Yeah, UK time at about 9:30ish. I think in the US. I might be wrong on that one. Just double check it. But that is the market mover. So bear that in mind. I'm also watching out for Bitcoin, because at the moment Bitcoin is broken out again. It's hitting over that $101,000. So if we could go to the daily on this one actually and get closer into this. So yeah, we can see here Bitcoin is broken back out. I wanted to see it to get above $103,000. That's what I wanted to do. I want us to get back above that $103,000 and reclaim that $108,000 and break out again to the upside. Now, obviously, it all comes to that data again. So we can have a look at the moving average here and look at so we've got the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA. So right now we've reclaimed the 20 and reclaimed the 50. We'll forget about the 200 at the moment, but we've got the 20 EMA crossing over the 50 EMA. So I think at the moment, we're basically going to chop around this sideways action at the moment about that 100K. Like I said, depends what happens later on for a big move. But like I said, the volume's just been dropping off. You can see here, it's just been dropping off down to the downside. We've got money inflow coming in on the oscillator as well, though. But I think closer to towards the end of the week, we're going to get volume coming in. And then obviously up to the inauguration, I think more volume should be coming in as well. So I think the markets are gearing up. But at the moment, the markets in the stock markets are in fear. They are in fear at the moment, you know, because obviously next week, I think we get the FOMC minutes again. So obviously, I think the anticipation to see what that says, what do they write down in their committee meetings. So we just got to bear that one in mind as well. So Bitcoin dominance, I'm watching out for very carefully as well. At the moment, we're coming up to that zone where we're going to potentially could well drop down to the downside. And we want to see that happen for altcoins to make their rally to the upside. So I'm watching dominance very carefully. We're coming into an area of resistance, which was at 58. We now dropped down to 57.59. So I'm expecting, hopefully, and we can see the money, the dominance starting to drop down on the oscillator as well. And we first got our first grey dot as well. So we could get a dominance breakdown even further soon. And I've already been past that. Look what happened last time. And I went through that in the previous video. Look what happened last time. And that was back in January of 2021. We had that big breakdown to the downside. So be careful and watch out for the dominance. So hopefully we want that to break down to the downside. We want USDD as well to keep on dropping down as well, because that means more liquidity is coming into the market. But total 3, right now, we've had that downward action, sideways action, accumulation, and now we've pumped to the upside. Now, obviously, all depending what USDT and dominance does, and obviously what Bitcoin does as well. But at the moment, we're just chopping. We can see here, we're just chopping around sideways. We've had a bit of money outflow coming in here, but hopefully the curvature is going to be towards the upside, and we're going to break out as well. So overall, be very careful this week. A lot of price action could well happen. So yeah, all in all, it's looking good, but watch out for Friday. So CRO, I really do think that a move is going to be coming very soon. So smash that like button and get subscribed, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.